Hey everyone, so due to super popular demand, today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of one of my sources of passive income, my e-commerce business, and show you my 5 favorite apps that I use to run my business 99% on autopilot. Yep, the only real thing that a human, i.e. me or one of my staff members, have to do is customer service, like answering emails, which for one store would normally take about 15 minutes a day, and choosing and designing new products to sell occasionally. And actually, I reckon that even if you're a long-time subscriber, you're probably going to be surprised at some of the ways that I use these apps to earn passive income. And you see, that's pretty much my goal in life, to earn money as passively as possible, because there are 2 things that I value. The first thing is any time that somebody takes a moment out of their very busy day to give this video a like and to subscribe. Because seriously, each time that you take a moment to hit that like button, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much to everybody that does so. But the second thing that I really value is time. And I truly believe that time is extremely precious because, you see, as I said in my Instagram post here, in my opinion, true wealth isn't about having the most money and the most Teslas or Lamborghinis. Nope, it's about having income sources that earn money as passively as possible. Because you think about it, in life we can always earn back our money, but something that we can never earn more of is time. Each day that you spend doing something that you don't enjoy is a day that is lost forever. And so while most people obsess over earning more and more money, I instead obsess over preserving my time. So I try to structure my income sources to be as passive as possible, including my e-commerce business. And to help me with that, I have 5 apps that I absolutely love that let me do these 5 things almost entirely on autopilot. So let's look at the first app, and no, for my long-time subscribers, this app is probably not going to be a surprise. The first app I use to actually run my e-commerce business and accept payments and manage orders is Shopify. Because you see, when you decide that you're going to start an online store, you have 2 ways that you can go. You can either decide to set up your own website and your own online store, like this example tutorial store that I've created here, or you can choose to list the products that you sell on a third-party marketplace like eBay or Redbubble or Etsy. And of course, the big advantage to just listing your products for sale on one of these marketplaces like Etsy is that there are millions of people coming here each month, so you don't have to do marketing to get customers in the door since, well, you know, they're already coming. However, for me, because I already do have a marketing strategy in place, I prefer to sell privately. And that's because of this. So you see this Etsy seller here? Well, if we scroll down the page, you'll see that because of the fact that Etsy controls their platform, they just try to sell as many products as possible. And so to achieve that, they advertise other people's products on your product listings. And so when you sell on a third-party marketplace like this, it is a compromise. No, you don't have to do marketing, but instead you have to accept that you will make less money because you are forced to compete with other products and sellers. And so that's why I like to sell privately and use Shopify to do that. And Shopify is an app that is basically an e-commerce store in a box, no coding or developers required. And there are other apps I could have chosen like WooCommerce to do this, but there are several reasons why I've personally chosen Shopify, which will become apparent by the end of the video. And the reason is because it helps me do this on autopilot, marketing and sales. Shopify software has been built by developers to be extremely SEO friendly, and SEO stands for search engine optimization. So for example, if you come to Google and you type in lawyer mugs and you do a search for that phrase, an e-commerce store is going to show up at the top of Google's recommended websites, Mugdom. Now Mugdom gets a ton of free traffic and customers from Google recommending it in their search results. And actually, Mugdom is a Shopify Flex store that does both print on demand and dropshipping, which is pretty cool. So there are several tweaks that they've made to their store to make it easy for Google to find it and recommend it. So for example, one tweak you can see is that they've added related keywords to their page title and description here, like lawyer coffee mugs and gifts for lawyers. And then on the actual page itself, they've used the keyword lawyer mugs on the page. Well, just like Mugdom, this is the main way that I drive traffic and customers these days. There are many keywords my product and category pages rank for, and they bring in customers for free from Google hands off. If you want to do this yourself, it's going to take time, but now that the upfront work is done, it's mostly just hands-off traffic and advertising. And this is a big reason why I chose Shopify, because their goal is to be the easiest e-commerce software for non-techie people to use. And it really is. It is idiot-proof. And the same with SEO. They've made it super easy to make all of these tweaks, and so I can have staff members that are not SEO experts come in and easily navigate it and make the tweaks that we need to be Google friendly. And by the way, if you'd like to dig deeper into how SEO works, I actually have a free video tutorial on this channel. But yes, this is one of the reasons why I've chosen Shopify. It's because its SEO features are really easy to use. But another reason is because it integrates super well with my next app that allows me to package and ship products to my customers hands-off on autopilot. So remember how earlier I said that there are some ways that I use these apps that may surprise even my long-time subscribers? Well, this is one of those apps. So to package and ship my items to customers on autopilot, I use this app here, Printful, which has an awesome integration with Shopify. So I use it in two ways. So firstly, I'll do something which I'll explain shortly, which is print on demand. But secondly, I use it to do something else called Phase 2 dropshipping, thanks to this little known feature that Printful has, their fulfillment warehouse. So I'm going to explain how both of these methods allow me to package and ship my items out to customers on autopilot, hands off, without me having to do anything. And to get started, I'm going to first of all explain how I do it with print on demand. And while I know a lot of my long-time subscribers already know how this works, please bear with me while I explain it, as most of my viewers are new around here, so I really appreciate the patience. Thank you. So here's how print on demand works. Now, you see this example tutorial store that I built here? Well, to sell these products to customers, I can sell them before they exist. Yep, none of these products actually exist. I'm basically selling phantom products. And it's because of Printful. So Printful is a print-on-demand app. They have a big catalog of blank items that you can choose to sell. So you could sell t-shirts, hoodies, fanny packs, face masks, pillowcases, and even shower curtains. They sell all sorts of custom products that you can create. So let's say then that I went through their catalog and I decided to sell this t-shirt. Well, what I would do is I would click on it and then I would just upload either a picture or a trendy slogan that I wanted to sell on the t-shirt. Printful will then upload your artwork and store a digital copy of the product in their database. And you can then list that t-shirt for sale in your store for a markup price for customers to purchase. And then when a customer comes and say buys this t-shirt from you, Printful will see the order in their computers and go, look, someone bought this t-shirt that was created and uploaded to our database. Awesome, let's make and ship this t-shirt to the customer ASAP. Their merchandise printing factories will then print your design onto the t-shirt, package the t-shirt up, and then ship it out to the customer. They'll charge you the production cost and you get to keep the markup as profit. As you can see, it's super hands-off because once you've added your product to the store, you no longer have to worry about packaging or shipping. You are done. And by the way, if you are watching this and you would like to learn even more about starting a print-on-demand store, then you should be sure to download my free ebook, The 6 Steps That Six-Figure Online Stores Follow to Make Over $10,000 a Month, and you'll find a link to download my free ebook in the video description below. But anyway, back to the video. So yes, that is one way that I sell products with my e-commerce business, but that isn't the only way. Nope, as I said, I also do something else, and that is Stage 2 dropshipping. So to explain what Stage 2 dropshipping is, I will quickly explain what Stage 1 dropshipping is. Dropshipping is when you list an item that a manufacturer makes for a markup in your store. Then when a customer comes and buys the item from you, you then go straight to the manufacturer and buy that one individual item and have it shipped directly to your customer while you keep the difference as profit. So for example, here is a store that is dropshipping. Now they are selling a super viral product. It's an electronic fish toy that flops and tricks cats into thinking that it's real. They're selling it for about $30. So every time a customer bought one of these for them for about $30, what they would do is they would come to their manufacturer that they found on this big manufacturer directory, aliexpress.com, and buy it for a fraction of the price. They'd then have their supplier ship this one item directly to their customer. So let's say that you are Floppy Fish and you've done this, and through Stage 1 dropshipping you have found an item that is selling great. Awesome. Now you can move on to Stage 2 dropshipping, which is when instead of dropshipping them individually when customers order them, you instead buy a bunch of them in bulk and then ship them into a fulfillment warehouse. So for me, because I use Printful as my #1 print-on-demand app, I also use their warehouse services too for my dropshipping. So all you do is add the product to your Printful dashboard and then create a shipment order. You tell Printful how much of the product that you intend to ship into their warehouse. So I'm only going to be shipping in 5 of these floppy fish as an example for this video tutorial. but I'd usually send in hundreds of products. You create a shipment order, and then once your supplier has shipped the items to Printful and given you a tracking code, you then add it into your Printful shipment order so that they can track and collect your products once they have arrived. So I'll send in several different products all in one box, and Printful's warehouse team will collect my box and then separate off my items and store them on their shelves. And so then, of course, when the items have arrived, you just add them into your store. And when a customer buys, say, this floppy fish from you, Printful's warehouse will receive the order and they'll go, yep, let's find that fish sitting in Sarah's storage container. And then, without you having to do anything, they'll go and pick that fish out of the container, package the fish up, and ship it out to the customer. And then they'll send the customer an email with their tracking code, all within one business day, automatically, completely hands-off. So those are the two ways that I package and ship items to customers on autopilot with the Printful app. I also have another print-on-demand app that I use, Printify, which is my third app on this list. And this is my backup app that I use because occasionally, especially because of COVID-19 issues, unfortunately, Printful has sometimes run out of stock for some of the items that I sell. But that's okay, because when they do, I'll just order from this app here, Printify, instead. So it's a nice backup app to have. So even if Printful runs out of, say, one type of t-shirt, Printify always has me covered just in case. Inside my premium video training course, the Ecom Clubhouse, I show you my techniques for spying on top-selling print-on-demand products to get inspiration to create and sell your own top-selling products too. If you're interested in seeing if this course is right for you, I'll have a link to it in the video description below. But yes, on to app number 4, and this one's a doozy, because you see, a lot of people often say to me, Sarah, I'd love to run a store, but I am way too nervous to run one because I don't know how to pay sales taxes. And I'm always like, guys, don't you realize that collecting and paying sales taxes, especially in the USA, is actually surprisingly easy? And it's thanks to this app here, which also has an awesome Shopify integration, TaxJar. Now, just to clarify, when it comes to taxes, there are two main types of ones that you need to be concerned with. First, there are income taxes. This is when at the end of the year, you calculate what your profit was and pay income tax to the country or state you live in. So I pay my income tax to New Zealand's government. And then secondly, there is sales tax. Each time a customer buys an item from you, if they live in a country or state that requires it, you need to charge them an additional fee on top of what they paid and pay that fee, i.e. that sales tax, to their state or country. Most of my customers do not live where I live, which is New Zealand. Instead, they live in the USA. And this app here, TaxJar, makes it very easy to collect that fee, i.e. that sales tax, and pay it on autopilot. Now, there are two ways that it helps me do this. Firstly, it helps me figure out which states in the USA I have to collect and pay sales tax in. Because guys, seriously, chances are, for most of you watching, you don't even have to worry about doing this at all. To be required to collect and pay sales tax in a state in the USA, you have to have achieved what's called Nexus in that state. Nexus means that you are now required to collect and pay sales tax from customers that live within it. And if you don't actually live in that state, oftentimes the sales thresholds that you need to meet to become eligible for Nexus within a state are huge. So for example, you only need to worry about registering and charging sales tax to customers that live in the state of New York if you've sold over $500,000 worth of products to New York customers. This is a huge threshold. And in New Mexico, a state with 2 million people living in it, if you don't live in New Mexico, you have to sell over $100,000 worth of goods to people that live within your state. So you know, all of you guys who have just opened stores and are worrying about this, yeah, you might be overthinking it just a little bit. But once you do have a successful store, TaxJar can automate this process for you and figure out where you should be collecting and paying sales taxes in. So to show you how, I have set up a tutorial store and added over 200 draft orders into it from New York addresses that total around $529,000, and I connected TaxJar to the store. Well, if we use TaxJar's sales tax calculator, it will import all of my transactions and figure out which states that I owe sales tax in based on the sales for the past year. And of course, because TaxJar is smart, it figured out that this store only owes sales taxes in New York. So once you know this, you can then just go into Shopify's tax settings and tell it to start charging and collecting sales taxes for you automatically from customers that live in the state of New York. So this is another nice feature that I love about Shopify, and when you combine it with TaxJar, it makes collecting sales taxes super simple. But that's not the only thing that TaxJar automates for me. In addition, it will also keep track of how much sales tax that you were collecting and owe, and then when it comes time to actually pay the state the money, TaxJar also does this for you. They have an autofile feature, so once you've registered for this and set it up, TaxJar will file all the paperwork you need, and they'll also pay the correct amount to each state and jurisdiction for you. Boom! It also saves a huge amount of time and fees that you'd have previously had to have spent with accountants. TaxJar, the app that accountants hate. And of course, there is something else my store does on autopilot, and that is to get customers to come back and buy from me again. And the app I use for that is Ecommerce Marketing. Ecommerce Marketing is my favorite email app for Shopify, and the way that I use this app is I use it to take my existing customers and market to them automatically to get them to come back and purchase more products. Now, there are many ways that you could use this app to do this. We could have an entire video on this app easily, but for the sake of brevity, we're just going to focus on 2 features that this app has. One way that I use this is through my customer receipt email sequence that I've added to it. So immediately after buying an item from me, the customer will get a receipt which tells them which items they have bought and recommends other products in my store that they would like too. Ecommerce Marketing will also create a discount coupon code within Shopify that is active for 72 hours, and they will track if the customer uses it or not. So this receipt tells my customer that they have 3 days to use my code. Well, as Ecommerce Marketing tracks coupon usage, if the customer does not use that coupon within 48 hours, Ecommerce Marketing will then automatically trigger another email to go out, this time reminding the customer that they have just 24 hours left to use their discount coupon. Which is a great way to use scarcity to get customers to come back into the store to buy again while they are still a hot, engaged lead. And there is another way that I use this, and that is to send out abandoned cart emails. So each time a customer comes in and adds an item to their cart and then reaches page 2 of the checkout process and enters their email address but doesn't complete payment, Ecommerce Marketing will log that email address in their systems. You can then send them through an abandoned cart recovery process and customize it to be exactly how you want it. So this is the standard one that I use. First, after 1 hour, they will get an email from me asking them to come back and complete their order, and it will show the items that they left behind. Then if they don't come back within 23 hours, they'll get another email, but this time Ecommerce Marketing will generate a 3-day discount coupon code inside of Shopify. And this email will remind the customer of the products in their cart and tell them that they have just 3 days to come back and claim their discount coupon. And I then set it to wait 48 hours, and then if they still haven't come back to complete the order, the customer will get one final reminder email. This email will remind the customer that their discount coupon code only has 24 hours left to be claimed for the discount, and it's a great, easy method to save sales. So did this video help you learn about some new apps that you would like to use in your e-commerce business to run it more passively? If it did, please hit that subscribe button and click the little notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you'd like to learn even more about my sources of passive income, then you should be sure to watch my video, the 5 income sources that earn me $1,000 a day in my 20s. So go ahead, watch my next video, and I'll see you over there.